Welcome to The Daily Grind, a Bluff City Media daily podcast. Stepping up to the microphone is your host, Luke Hatmaker. Grab your favorite morning brew, and let's get to the show.
Well, it's bad, Leroy Brown, baddest man in the whole damn town, badder than old King Kong, meaner than the daily grind.
Hey.
It is. Welcome to the Daily Grind. I am your host, not Jim Croce. That'd be sick, though. I am your host, Luke Hatmaker, and it is a Monday. I know my days of the week, and I've got Rusty with me. How are you, sir? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good this Monday morning. Not too bad. It was a nice weekend, kind of quiet. Although this morning I woke up. So one of my neighbors is, I live next door to a convent, a lot of nuns in there, right? And there's one of them that sleepwalks all the time. And so I woke up and there was a lady that was sleepwalking in my front yard. Yeah, apparently she's a Roman Catholic.
Yeah. Man, I was really happy with where that was going, regardless of the punchline.
She's a Roman Catholic. She just wanders around.
Two thumbs up. Roman Catholic. The more I think about it, the more I like it.
You're welcome.
Shout out everybody in the comments. I see Art. I see Wayno. I'm crying already. Roman Catholics. This is really funny. I'm back. Let's get it. Let's jump right into it. Well, let me preface this with it's the summer. And so not a lot going on. Mm-hmm. However, you know, we were just talking off air about this. Apparently the summer is a good time to talk about people being overrated and coming after folks. So this came out Friday, I guess. I missed it. You missed it. I think I only saw it. I saw it retweeted, I think, by DeMichael Cole. Shout out to Michael Cole. But
I saw it. I rolled my eyes and then kept scrolling.
Yep. Big old eye roll.
Mm-hmm.
But if you happen to read the interwebs, Jaren Jackson Jr. was ranked. I don't think this was voted. I guess this was just one man's opinion. Was voted the third most overrated, not underrated, overrated player in the NBA. Which is...
First of all, you got to consider the source. It was Bleacher Report.
Yep.
Which,
yes.
Not exactly a blockbusting, top-tier sports reporting organization, but that's all I'm going to say about that.
They have birthed the "Would you make that trade" segment on this show because of the absurdity. So we I like and I trust me, I have a flavor for the absurd. I love the absurd. That being said, there's a difference between being absurd and like looking like a maniac. And this just like he's not. Yeah, you know what? Let's throw this up here. I'm glad you started because I'm doing bad about this. They said the same thing about Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah, I was going to say that Hallie was on this list last year, and look where he ended up. Not saying we're going to be in the finals this year, but we're going to head that direction. But Luke, like the argument makes itself. All you got to do is like the internet is your friend. Ask ChatGPT. Look up Jaren's stats. Look up other DPOY candidates that are averaging 20 points a game, averaging 4 or 5 rebounds a game. Oh my gosh, he doesn't average 9 rebounds a game. Boo-hoo, he's a perimeter big. It's not what he does. But like to be on a list with like some of these guys, like the Tyler Hero, Austin Reeves, those kind of make sense. But like Jaren he led the NBA. He was one of the most efficient, I'll say this, one of the most efficient NBA players in the paint last year. His floater was damn near unstoppable, top 5 in percentage. Yeah. Also, Luke, he had the best defensive rim protection percentage with the least amount of attempts because people don't try him at the rim. There was a chart that came out over the weekend, and if I was a good co-host, I would have found it, and I'll see if I can find it while you're talking in just a second. But it had everybody charted out based on how many attempts at the rim they got and their effective percentage. So the higher and the further to right you had more attempts, the higher on the vertical you had a better defensive percentage. And there was nobody even close to Jaren, and he had minimal attempts because people don't try him. And so it's clearly the doldrums of summer. Bleacher Report, I feel like, is a part of our fan base somehow in that other little section over there. To put Jaren on this list as the third most overrated NBA player, when there are guys out there playing like like Bronny James and Trey Young, in my opinion, and some of these guys that are overrated, that truly overrated. To put Jaren there is wild.
Yeah, and the worst part about this is you look at like, yeah. Wait, no, I don't shut up. I don't understand what a list like most overrated does for anyone if players are placing votes. It doesn't make much sense, but you look at this and it's like number one on this list, which I feel like needs to be, like you mentioned, Austin Reeves. Number one is LaMelo Ball, who I think might deserve that moniker of was leading the All-Star vote at one point last year, and that he was leading the fan vote. I think that overrated, like, yes, with him, yes, for Austin Reeves. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a 2-time All-Star and a 1-time Defensive Player of the Year. I don't think I don't think you give that to someone who is overrated. I just don't.
So I found what I was talking about. So if you look at this chart here, the further the right, the more attempts. The further left, the less attempts. But the higher up, the better percentage. He had a better rim protection defense percentage than freaking Victor Wembanyama. Like, that's Jaren up there in that top left corner with Daniel Gafford and Wemby. And, like, that's an elite level rim protection, especially when you see guys like Nikola Jokic down there at the bottom. You've got Domantas Sabonis is kind of there in the middle. Afrin Şengün and Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez is a perennial Defensive Player of the Year candidate, barely above the midline there. But, like, if you look at that top left corner is players who, in my opinion, are not overrated. People don't try them. And when they do, they still are scoring less than 50% of the time. That's freaking wild.
Yeah, man. I'm a visual learner, and being able to see this is like, what are these folks talking about? And the worst part is the very well, not the first line, but once they get in this profile that we're talking about, they not even profile in this list, the first thing that they go to, and it's like they're not even afraid. It's like not that they're, I don't know. The first thing they go to are his rebounding, and it's like, what are you talking about? That's not what he does. And
if you're talking to somebody about Jaren Jackson Jr. and the first point they bring up is rebounding, you can go ahead and stop the conversation because the person you're talking with clearly doesn't know basketball and how Jaren is utilized on an NBA court. Like, they
haven't watched the Grizzlies game. They just,
they don't know ball. And that, like, right there, you know that you have entered into a conversation with somebody who has minimal to no basketball knowledge. And so you can go ahead and just remove yourself from that conversation.
Yeah, I do. I see. Man, you're my star king today. You were my star king today, brother. I see these comments. I'm missing them. This is important. This is important. This shout out Art. If you're basing this off of playoff performances, but they're not.
It's fair.
LaMelo Ball is on the front is number one. But if they were,
it's fair.
It's a fair. I'll listen to that argument. I'll sit back and I will listen to what you have to tell me about Jaren's. Maybe the way that he's paid, the way that he performs in the playoffs. Sure. I'll listen to that.
We're at that point that we need to see some playoff, like, rising from Jaren. And, last season against Oklahoma City, like, they threw Alex Caruso at him because they knew he was our most effective offensive weapon. And if you watched any of the NBA playoffs last year, Alex Caruso got away with holding and clipping, and they put Lou Dort on him, the same thing. Like, Oklahoma City, like, we talked about this, and I'm not making excuses for Jaren. It is what it is. It was reported by every team that Caruso and Dort got away with what would have been 10-yard penalties in any college, professional, or high school football level whatsoever. But then, especially when Ja went out, literally they just threw everything they had at Jaren. And when you've got three guys defending you, A, that tells me that you're not overrated. B, that tells me that you're the team's most effective offensive weapon. And so they eliminated Jaren. We couldn't do anything. And so, like, again, not making excuses. He needs to step up and play better in the playoffs. And especially with this new deal that he's got, like, it's time to get some quality playoff minutes from him. But again, I hearken you back to the 23-24 NBA season when everybody was hurt. And who carried this team? It was Jaren. Jaren could have easily checked out that year, but he was still putting up numbers, getting buckets, being Mr. Reliable, our Iron Man, if you will. And he just doesn't get the love that he should from our fan base, and especially from clown-ass organizations like ESPN and Bleacher Report.
Yep, it's kind of getting old at this point. I feel like it's been season. It's since he won DPOY. I feel like it's been a lot of this, and it's just getting kind of old. I don't know. I mean, maybe we're tired of hearing it because we hear it a lot. As Grizzlies fans, we have to hear it a lot. But
Art asked, where was this? Here it is. I do believe, from what I'm hearing, reports is his rehab's going really well, and that he's going to be available. And BC makes Jaren better. If you look at our all-time winning 2- and 3-man lineup, Jaren and BC are in most of them together. And so having Clark available, playing beside Jaren, is going to do a lot for Jaren's confidence and allow him to be that free safety roaming defensive player that he can be. And I think Jock Landale is going to help with that too, because Jock Landale is a rim protector. Like he's a big body. He blocks shots, who can protect the paint a little bit more. And so, yes, I think Clark will be available to play early on. And I think having Brandon Clark and Jock Landale are going to help Jaren to start the season when he's fully healthy as well.
Yep. I want to throw this up to Jalen. Thank you for hopping in.
Oh, shout out Jalen. He and I have had arguments on this show, and he's like, shout out Jalen.
We got a certified Triple J hater, and he still knows they were hacking him like crazy in the playoffs.
Shout out Jalen.
Shout out Jalen. Yeah, let's transition this conversation a little bit, because we're talking about, we've mentioned DPOY multiple times just in this conversation about him being overrated. Our good friends over at FanDuel Sportsbook, which shout out them. We love them. We love them here. They released the early NBA futures came out over the week. And we're going to be looking at a lot of these throughout the course of the preseason. Pre-preseason.
Yeah,
well, it's pre-pre.
Yeah.
I don't know. We need to. That's what it's called. I was like, what's the word? What's the word for the season before the preseason?
The off season.
The off season. Oh, I'll be damned. Man, I wrote a whole article. The title once was the preseason. I didn't even call it. Nobody stopped me. Anyway,
I'm here for you, Luke. I got you.
Anyway, this is what happens with unlimited power. What am I talking about? They've released their NBA futures, and we talked in our daily It's a Trap segment. We talked on Friday about 6 Man of the Year odds. In keeping with the spirit of Jaren Jackson Jr. and the potential that he might be, quote, overrated, I want to go into the Defensive Player of the Year odds breakdown. Look at these. So if you are following along with us at home, head on over to FanDuel Sportsbook, y'all, because this is great. Go to tennessee.sportsbook.fanduel.com if you're in the state of Tennessee. If you're not, I'd go bet wherever you're at. But their Defensive Player of the Year odds have came out. And so let's start the conversation this way. Wembanyama is the favorite. I think that is already. That's obvious. I don't think that's in any argument. Here's where I have a problem with the overrated tag that, clearly FanDuel Sportsbook doesn't think Jaren's overrated. You have to go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different players. 2 hands worth. We can count with that. 10 different players before you even get to Jaren Jackson Jr. as someone you can put money on for Defensive Player of the Year. Ahead of him are the likes of Chet Holmgren, Evan Mobley, the Thompson twins, Anthony Davis, Dyson Daniels, Jalen Suggs, Giannis, Bam Adebayo, and Draymond Green. You don't have
Draymond.
I just don't. Yeah, there's guys behind him that I think should be in front of him. Draymond shouldn't be above him. I don't know. You want to talk about. I think this is FanDuel showing that, if anything, Jaren is criminally underrated. The fact that he is the 11th. Yeah, you know what? Shout out Art. Art gets it.
Yeah.
Yep. Last time was injured, he came back and he won the award. And I think this is massively disrespectful for Jaren. Again, Jaren's odds, I should say that you go over to FanDuel Sportsbook. Jaren is currently sitting at plus 6,000 odds to win Defensive Player of the Year.
I put money on that
because I put money on that right now.
Because if you look ahead of him, right, like Wemby is the odds-on favorite at minus 190, meaning that you have to bet $190 to get your money back, right?
Yes.
He's that much of a favorite. Chet Holmgren, I don't believe in. He's too he's been hurt in the past. I don't buy it. I think if you run at his chest a few times and get him on his heels, you can get him out of the game.
I'm going to need to see him have an offseason where he gains a ton of muscle to have him. I mean, he is got the second highest odds, and I just think and he held up in the playoffs, but I just think he needs to get bigger to win the award.
But this is a whole season award, and Stinky from Hey Arnold has not shown me anything that he can be hold his own throughout a regular season. We know Anthony Davis is the first NBA player, as reported exclusively on the Daily Grind, made of paper mache, so he won't be there.
This is his
Draymond that's it. Draymond is there by name only. He'll fall off. Bam was not that great last year at all. And so like the Thompson twins, I can buy. Giannis, I can buy. Jalen Suggs, meh.
Evan Mobley,
he's good, but Evan Mobley, you're reigning DPOYs plus 1,200. The Chet glazing is a bit much for me just because they just won a title doesn't mean he's automatically this great defender.
Plus 600.
Yeah, I look for Jaren to make some moves throughout the season, particularly, as Zach Edey highlight said earlier. Edey's out of his boot. He'll be coming back at some point.
Don't get
and I
choked
think
up.
that, these Memphis allergies, man.
Over it.
But Edey will come back and be able to anchor the middle and allow Jaren to play because the last time he got hurt, he did come back and win that DPOY. And what did we have that DPOY year? Steven Adams anchoring the middle and being a bruiser in the middle of the paint. And that's what Zach Edey can be. And so the stars are aligning. The tea leaves are in the right positions. You can read the palm and see the writing there that Jaren is set for a bounce back year. And plus 6,000 odds is really good money right now.
I mean, we're looking at on Friday, we got Ty Jerome at plus 2,000 odds to win Sixth Man of the Year. We got Jaren Jackson Jr. plus 6,000 odds to win Defensive Player of the Year. I like these odds, man. I mean, I definitely don't think that this is that. A plus 6,000 is not something that you put on a guy that is overrated. No. I don't think to put a bow on the conversation. I just don't think that makes sense.
And that's a bit much. Well, again, you got to consider the source. It's Bleacher Report calling out,
yes.
They're not calling out anybody, but Bleacher Report is not exactly the most credible sports organization out there. Plus, it's the doldrums of summer. They're just trying to get some clickbait. And it worked. If you look at the comments of their article or the comments on Twitter, like Grizz fans, rightfully so, are coming out with their pitchforks and defending Jaren. You saw a few LaMelo defenders here and there. Nobody really said anything about Tyler Hero. So, I mean, that one might be on the money. Or Austin Reeves. Those might be kind of on the money. So, give credit where credit's due. But 2/5 of your top 5 does not make it a credible list. You know what I'm saying? Like when you got Jaren does not belong on that list. Period. Even if you hate Jaren, you know that he is not overrated when he can average 20 points per game and be a DPOY candidate.
Yep. Well said, my friend. We're going to take a real quick break. Let it simmer a little bit. Let this frustrations. I'm not frustrated. It's just funny. We will let this take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to give you your daily dose of It's a Trap, and then we're going to talk about Mondays and how they're for lasagna right after this quick break.
Choking and token. The Mid-South's first cannabis-themed jiu-jitsu tournament.
August 16th at Midtown Krav Maga and Jiu-Jitsu.
At 1 p.m. 21 plus to compete or consume.
Consumption not required.
Ounce of Hope is licensed by the state of Tennessee. This is all 100% legal hemp products. Everything's good to go.
We'll have gi divisions.
No gi divisions.
Madison bracket, guaranteeing 4 matches per division, plus an absolute winner.
Each fighter receives an Ounce of Hope gift bag, and there's prizes for every winner.
Check out the link below to sign up.
How about the videos and the pictures of John Morant's tour?
Oh my gosh, it's like a rock star.
The smile on his face.
He look. It's almost like it's like rejuvenated. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like I feel physically I feel good, mentally I feel good. Like there's not. I'm just in a good place, and it's good to be here.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. I'm good, and sometimes it takes getting away. And having the people you want to be around just gonna be around you, and I'm all the way over here on an entirely almost a day difference time zone, and so I'm happy for him, and hopefully that translates into him having one of those really monster seasons. That won't only be good for him, that would be good for the team.
Yeah. Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. In the heart of the Highland Strip for 27 years, Trilogy Tattoo has helped tell stories for Memphians for generations. Located at 530 South Highland, Richie and his team are waiting to help you tell yours.
From tattoos to piercings, your body art should be as unique as you are. Voted a Memphis Flyer top 3 tattoo shop in the city of Memphis since day one. Your story will be safe here at Trilogy Tattoo.
Open 7 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11, and 3 to 11 on Sundays. They have convenient times waiting on you. Let Trilogy Tattoo help you tell your story.
And we are back. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. Y'all, this 2 weeks, 2 weekends away, right? No, less than 2 weekends away. It's close now. Joking and token. Got it.
Let's
right.
go.
Yeah. I'm excited. It's going to be great. Also, Ounce of Hope's going to be there. Promo code Bluff City. QR code here. Go check them out. Trilogy Tattoo. Check them out, y'all. We've got just like a lot of good stuff happening in Memphis. Check them out, y'all.
College football Saturdays are coming.
Yes.
It's coming August 30th is going to be our first one. We've got a college game day style football show that's going to be happening at Grind City Brewing on Saturdays, helping you kick off those days. Be on the lookout for those dates. More to come. The first official one is August 30th. Some great games that day. Y'all came hang out at one of the best locations in Memphis because you can see the pyramid, the Enbridge, big grass lawn to hang out on. The Bucks are going to be there. Christian Fowler. We've got Gabe Coons going to be guest spotting some. It's going to be an awesome time, guys. It's going to be your destination for college football this fall. Grind City Brewing.
Heck yes, man. Heck yes. I can't wait. This fall is going to be great, y'all. Come hang out.
Awesome.
It's going to be awesome. Let's get back to it, though. Speaking, kind of sticking in the realm of college sports, it is time for your daily dose of HR Trap. HR Trap is named in honor of Admiral Akbar of Star Wars and the Rebel Alliance fame, RIP. The name of the game is simple. I will give our guest, our contestant, 3 wagers, 3 bets, 3 odds. It is up to you to guess which one is a trap. There's 2 that are real. You don't even have to. We'll talk about those later if you want to. You just got to tell me the one that's a trap. All right. Head on over to FanDuel Sportsbook, y'all. That's where this is here. So, today's theme, college sports, specifically the SEC. I'm looking ahead to who FanDuel thinks will be winning the SEC conference. Who's going to win it this year, brother? All right. Here's a couple odds. Are you ready? All right. I got A, LSU, plus 700 odds to win the SEC championship. B, University of Tennessee, plus 1,800 to win the SEC championship. Or C, Ole Miss, plus 1,900 to win the SEC championship.
So the one that jumps out to me is LSU is good, but plus 700 is really good. That's some strong odds to win the SEC. I don't know that Ole Miss is plus 1,900 either. I feel like they may be a little further back. But I'm gonna go LSU plus 700 is the trap.
No.
What?
Dude.
Oh gosh.
Yep.
Wow.
Dude,
big Aaron Nussmeier, apparently.
Dude, the only reason I did this today was because I saw LSU plus 700 and I was like, well, this is a give them. This is a give me. I'm going to be able to get.
What does FanDuel know?
Dude, I'm telling you, FanDuel. So LSU is plus 700 currently to win the SEC. Florida is plus 1,800. Ole Miss is plus 1,900. The trap was UT. UT would have been it's a trap. UT has plus 3,100 odds. They just crapping all over my Volunteers. But LSU at plus 700, man.
That's wild.
Right? I didn't want to bring Mississippi State into this because but sorry,
you can buy a house.
You gotta scroll down.
Yeah, if you put $100 on Mississippi State, you would win $30,000. So
yeah, but over, This was fun for me for this particular exercise because any of these could be like we watch SEC football, and I was like, any of these could be considered a trap. But LSU plus 700, I found interesting,
especially when, again, I get it that they got Garrett Nussmeier is back. He's a seasoned in SEC in the SEC. It matters. A proven seasoned quarterback matters in the SEC, and that's what Garrett Nussmeier is. He's great. But they lost a lot of leadership on that defense, and I will always bet against Brian Kelly until he shows me that he can win a meaningful football game. He couldn't do it at Notre Dame. He hasn't done it at LSU. They've won a couple great regular season games. Awesome. Congratulations. But it doesn't translate into postseason success. So plus 700, that is wow. They are like – it's obvious that Texas, Georgia, and Alabama are kind of the favorites at plus 280 and plus 480. But the next one to be LSU – that's wild.
Tell you what I liked. I liked Florida at plus 1,800. I actually liked.
I don't mind that. DJ Lagway is good. Again, coming back. Can he take that next step? I think the two wild cards, another one I would also consider is South Carolina at plus 300 because they have one of the fastest wide receiver groups in the SEC. They have a experienced quarterback in Lenore Sellers, which I like. The hype train is really coming off the rails at this point. So I'm kind of dialing back a little bit. But Dylan Stewart, their defensive end, was a freshman All-American, was one of the league leaders in sacks last year. Like, he's not going to do anything but get better and bulky and fill out and be an incredible athlete. I like South Carolina's odds better than I do LSU's. I'll put it that way.
Man, there's a lot of teams in here I like better than LSU's. That's why I felt like, thank you, FanDuel Sportsbook, for giving me that plus 700 LSU to be able to trick all y'all because I knew it was going to happen.
Art, same in the comments, man. Like, we're all just kind of like, are you serious?
I was like, I might actually have them this time.
You got me, man.
Yeah, you're still in first. Again, y'all, that segment of It's a Trap was brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Go, you can put money on these odds we just talked about just now. Go place money on it right now. If you like that LSU bet at plus 700, go check it out.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, though, brother, it is Monday. And what are Mondays for around here? Mondays are for lasagna. What does that mean? This is the first time watching the show. We like to celebrate Mondays around here. We'll celebrate the weekends around here. We celebrate both the good and the bad from the weekend on Monday in honor of Garfield the cat. Big fan of his around here. He loves lasagna and he hates Mondays. So we talk about what we love and what we hated from the weekend. I'm happy to go first. So I talked on Friday. I had a bachelor weekend trip this weekend where we went to Red River Gorge, hiking, climbing, camping, all this stuff. It was really great. First night was really great. I woke up in the middle. So that was my Monday. Great first night. I woke up in the middle of the night the first night. And I don't know if I had food poisoning or stomach bug or something, but I wake up in the middle of the night, roll out of my tent, and for like the hour, I'm vomiting just like all over our campsite, my campsite, I guess. And I was just like, it was just, there's no place I'd rather not be when vomiting than outside in a tent. Yeah. And it was just like not. So I was already the old man on the trip, and so then I was the old sick man on the trip. So it's just like double whammy, but it's fine. How about you, brother? How was your weekend?
Weekend was pretty good, just low key. I finished up all my training that I needed to do. I've been staring at a computer for like 30 days trying to get all that training done, my real estate license and then my new company training. So I'm done with that. Got that done over the weekend. I kind of like you. I'm not as sick as you, but I woke up on Friday with these just like the allergies have been just beating me to sleep. Maybe it's Thursday. I've been kind of dealing with them. And it's just random times they flare up. I've struggled with them all my life, but I've just been really snotty and snorty and itchy and not, and allergies, like you don't feel bad enough to not do anything, but you don't feel all that great. And so that's just, just is what it is, man. And so, but it was a good weekend. I got some good quality time with Maggie. She was off. So yeah, it was nice.
Heck yeah, man. That's my week. My chill weekend is coming up next week and I can't wait.
Yeah, I had one of those. I needed it because I fly out in the morning. So it's the last time you'll see this mug on the daily grind until Friday. I'll be in Denver for the next 3 days training for my new job. So super stoked about that. I'm going to a high-end Denver steakhouse tomorrow night, whatever that means. Apparently, Denver's known to have good steakhouses, so I'm excited for that.
Heck yeah.
And then Top Golf on Wednesday night with the group. So it'll be a lot of fun. I get to meet some cool new folks, including Memphis native Josh Peppers. He played basketball at Whitehaven, went to Central Florida on a scholarship, played professional overseas for the last, like dozen or so years. He's joining the company as well, so super excited to meet him, and we'll have that Memphis and basketball connection. My boss is like, y'all are going to be like best friends. Like, so stoked about that, and hopefully that high mountain air will clear all these allergy crap out of here, and I'll be done.
You get to see what they talk about when they play in high altitude, all that nonsense. Whatever that is.
Yeah, whatever that is.
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
Dude, it's going to be a good week. It's going to be a good week, man. We will be back tomorrow. That is going to do it for the show today. I will be back. Rusty's going to be in Denver. He's going to be.
Yeah. I'll see y'all at the end of the week. Yeah, I'll be on the 2 Buck Sports Show today at 11 o'clock. We're going daily this week as we're starting that. Of course, this week, then I'm out of town. You'll get Kenny and Drew for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Got some special guests coming up this week, so y'all make sure you tune in at 11 o'clock.
Heck yes. And then Saints at 2 today. So check them out as well. Jess Benson's happening right now. Go check that out. Go over to FanDuel Sportsbook if you want to place any of the bets we talked about today. There are some good ones out there and there's some bad ones. Also, shout out to our other sponsors, Ounce of Hope, Trilogy Tattoo, Midtown Krav Maga, all that. Go check them out, y'all. And Grind City Brewing Company. Check them out, guys. All of them. Go check them all out. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a great Monday, y'all. Have a good day at work. If you're not working, have a good day chilling. If we can leave you with anything today, remember these 2 things like we always leave you with. Remember, 1, be a little weird. And 2, remember to smile. There it is. Bye, guys. Have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.